Welcome to Trading Lounge and the SP 500 for the 12th of June. As you know, we're looking from wave 4 here, counting 5 waves up to wave 5 here. So wave 1 and 2, and wave 3 and wave 4, and then wave 5. We're looking for 5 waves within this sequence here. And we're looking in this first sequence here for wave 1, we're counting also 5 waves up into this space as well. So I have been, if I just go straight to the hourly chart here and pick up this wave 4 here, I was looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then extension in wave 5 here, but it's probably unlikely. So what we'll need to do, well, first of all, we were long at this point here and our target was the 2900 there, so that we don't need that there anymore, so we can move that. So we can move back in, we just need to be a little bit patient. But what I'm also thinking is that this structure here is quite long, so it's more likely to be a third wave here, and we're looking for a fourth wave in here with a fifth wave to move a little higher here. So one more move to play out here, and this becomes wave 1 here and wave 2 here, just like on the charts on our website. So this is the preferred count at the moment. Not that it affects anything that we've been doing at this stage here. It just gives us the extension in the third wave here. So also too, we would be looking from wave 2 here, we would be looking from the top here, roughly here, so we'd be looking for a 38.2% retracement level. So we're coming into 2860, well, could be 65, 66, 67, 68 area here. Also too, I'm not sure if that gap is covered yet, so we'll want to cover that gap. So in a bit of a nutshell, if I just go to the 4-hour chart here, this is what it would look like here at the moment. And this is also, not that it's a big deal, but it's also in line with the Asian markets as well. So wave 1 and 2 here, wave 3 here, we're looking for a 3-wave structure here, but we do need to be mindful because wave 4s can get a little bit complicated. As you know, they can end up in triangles and double zigzags and so on, and I've just drawn this here as a simple ABC, and I have the reason I've done that for is because this first move through down here is actually in 5 waves. So we know that after 5 waves, we're going to get a 3-wave counter trend and then another 5 down. If we only had 3 waves in the first move here, then we would be in part of what we call the flat family correction, to the regular flat, the expanded flat, and so on. So, but we've got 5 waves, so we're going to be followed by 3 waves up and 5 waves down, and then we'll move to, we'll see 5 waves move up here, higher here. So we can expect Friday and Monday, bit of profit taking on Tuesday, to be in this trend here. And then we'll look for an ABC pattern here, which wave 2s are normally swift and sharp. They can pull back 61.8%, but they can also be less than that as well. So it's more important to track the actual internal structure than setting targets for that. So just coming back into this little top area here, let's just go into the tick chart here. So this is 100 ticks and the top of wave 3 here. We're looking for, this is 5 waves down through here. So if you wanted to count that, that would be wave 1 here, and back for wave 2, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, the fourth wave here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we have a complete sequence here of 5 waves. So the normal thing in the textbook is looking for an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. That can pull back up to the 50-60% retracement level, which is in this box here. I can see here that we've got, it's struggling to move up here. So 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here and 5 here. So it's going to be a little bit truncated in this case here. So it may not move all the way up here. If you did want to short this here, then this would be the short move under I can't draw on this side of the price on a tick chart, but this low here would be a catalyst for a trigger to the downside at that point. Normally in a correction, we can look for wave A here to be much the same length as wave, just roughly there. So wherever that high comes in here, if it moves up here higher into this box, well then that's fine, you know that, but I'll just take it from that point there. So normally there's some sort of relationship between wave A and wave C in terms of equality. So you can work that out, but our target area for the downside is within group 2 here, and we know that when we're working with a large number like 2900, we know that group 1, 2 and 3 here above 10, 20 and 30, and then group 2 below is the normal swing range for the correction, and that would also fall into the 38.2% retracement level area as well. So yeah, we're on sort of track here. If you use your what you're really looking for here is 5 waves down in this space. I mean, it's also possible too, I mean, I don't like to make things too complicated because it's already complicated enough, but it's also possible that wave B is in play here already with a little A, B and C in here, and it hasn't pulled back up, and that because this one here does appear to be impulsive to the downside, it just visually looking at this, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so a 61.8% retracement level would take us into this space here. So if it doesn't make a new high, I mean, if I was counting up here as 5 waves, I'd go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. If we don't make a new high here, then we need to look at this here as wave 1 to the downside, and that will help in counting to the downside. So, oops-a-daisy. So just bear that in mind. If this just moves straight down from here, then we'll call this wave 1 and this wave 2, and then there'll be wave 3, 4 and 5. So then you'll be able to go in and buy on wave 5 here for the run to the upside. If you can't find that, then stochastics are always a kind of a nice indicator to use with Elliott waves for the turn. George Lane, who invented the stochastics with his grandfather, formula for the used in metal, traded the SP 500 on an intraday basis with Elliott Wave and the stochastics. So I always find it a good indicator. I don't need to use it myself, but if you're having difficulty in counting the wave structures, then that's kind of helpful. But use that perhaps on a 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, whatever, to help with the turn. Otherwise, if the market moves back down below the group 2 here, 65, 72 and 80, if the market moves below the 72 and then eventually finds support back on the 72, we'll then get a small position on top of 72 and add on top of the 80 here, take part profit at the 29 here, and then the rest of the profit will be coming up into the top of group 1 here for that 5th wave to the upside there. So with all that in mind, as I mentioned, wave 4s can get a bit complicated, so be a little bit mindful of that. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in, enjoy the weekend, and thanks for the support. Cheers.